Welcome back, everyone, to the market update. So, if you are buying, selling, or just watching the market closely, grab a coffee or a cup of tea because this update is packed with big insights you cannot afford to miss. All right, let's dive into what's happening in Arizona housing market as of mid April right now, right? April 2025, April 21st on 2025, all right? And here's spoiler alert. The tides are turning in favor of the buyers, especially who are looking for mid or lower price range. So let's dive right into the information right now, okay? By looking at all the prices across the months. Okay, so obviously you see here in January in 2024, right? We have a higher number of contracts compared to 2025. Okay, uh, and it's actually flip into March or April, right? As you see here, March and April already uh, outperformed the number of 2024 compared to previous year. Okay, now what about home price? So let's look at some of the home prices here. You see that under $1 million home, this is the number of 2024, okay, is actually um, outperformed number of last year almost 115%, okay, versus the home price the $1 million to $2 million house or above $2 million house is actually less than previous year. Okay, the what is the price? What is the price? The price is a lot of question, right? The median sale price has adjusted downward to 450. Okay, to 450 here. What does that mean? That means more affordable homes available in Arizona market. All right. That means also it's gonna cause some of the buyer interest back to the market. But let's be real though, that number is not a lot. Okay, because people are still waiting, and they also afraid that the market is continue to going down. Okay, so definitely continue following the market, right? Even though the price trend goes down, that means more buyers going to become more interested. It doesn't mean that the majority of the buyers going to come back. They still need to deal with a high interest rate. Okay, so uh, even though the price down gonna help the market, I think we still need to watch for the market on a regular basis to be able to follow it and see what kind of trend the home price gonna be change because of those factors, the interest rate and the inventories available on the market. Let's look at a little bit on the luxury homes because we say that actually the luxury home market is flipping right now. What do I mean by that flipping? As I told you at the beginning of the year, right? The number of 2025, the purple line right here is the number of contract in 2025. Okay, this is the chart for over $1 million house. Okay, so the purple is 2025 number of contract and the blue line is 2024 number of contract. Earlier of the year, you see that number 2025, uh, the contract for luxury home was 15% higher than last year, right? Very strong at the beginning of the year. But since week 11 is already reversed hard, and it's actually like 15% difference. So, what is happening? Why is the luxury market all of a sudden become less favorable? Okay, let's look at couple information here. Uh, to be able to look at that, normally we have to look at the wealthy, luxury home tend to, I mean, the people who can afford for luxury home tend to have a lot of investment, right? We see that at the green line right here from at the beginning of the year is flat, but then toward April is drop. It is actually down 10% since February. Bitcoin, All right. The biggest, in my opinion, the biggest virtual cash, is that how you use it? How you say it? Yeah, virtual money, right, is down 23% since January, and the overall economic is not certain, doesn't have the level of certainty that we need, right? So what does that mean? That means wealthy buyers are tightening up, right? Stock and crypto. That's the word I want to use, not virtual money. I all of a sudden I forget what the word is. Stock and cryptos, right? Feel has less power. Okay, and now that those are down, so is the demand. They don't have money, right? The money already gone with the stock value, with the Bitcoin, with the crypto value goes down, right? So we expect to see fewer luxury clothing in the coming months, okay? Unless the economy somehow changes rapidly, right? And don't be surprised if the average price per square foot take a hit as well for the luxury market. Okay, so definitely come back and watch, because we are going to watch very closely, okay, to the luxury market as well, because believe it or not, I mean, when the stock goes down, this luxury market is the number one market that impacted. Okay. All right. What about price? Okay. Price are dropping, and it's dropping fast. Okay. That's the short answer. Okay. But let's look at some more detail. Okay. So here's the price trend since December of 2024. We have in December 2024 is about, when it is under contract, it is $350 per square feet. Now it dropped to $322 per square foot. The monthly average sold price is 316 in December, and now it's only 302. It's a 4.3% drop. Okay, this is significant. Okay, it's not tiny. This drop is big. Okay, this is a real movement, and that kind of price decline in such a short time frame, only 4 months, right, signal real momentum building toward the buyer friendly market. Okay, obviously you see the home price drop 4.3%. All right, in 4 months. Oh, I'm sorry, in just 3 weeks, 316. Okay, in just 3 weeks. So, and also remember, okay, the reason why I bring up the under contract is actually the leading indicator. Okay, whatever the price that, whatever the house that under contract here, okay, they may close when it becomes the sold price, right? Less than this. So obviously, you see that the close price are likely to keep dropping in the coming weeks. So if you are searching for a market in which you can negotiate, this is actually the best time, because the buyer market, like I said, every indicators showing this is a buyer friendly market. This is the market in which the buyer can take as many advantage, as many requests as possible. Okay, so be careful, seller. You need to understand uh, your power. Okay, not much, by the way. Some CDs still have some leverage for the seller right there, but you have to be careful before putting a very high expectation, and you may lose some of the advantage there. Okay, talking about leverage power, let's look at the comfort market index. Okay, in this one, we are going to look at all the 17 cities across Maricopa County, okay, based on the comfort market index, to see which one is still in the buyer's market, which one the seller still have the negotiation power there. Okay, so who do you think the buyers and the seller are in the upper hand now? Can you put in a text in the comments to tell me, just do buyers or seller? All right. Okay. Well, let's look at the number here. Okay. 12 cities that's actually shift toward in favor more of the buyers this month. Only 5 cities that toward the seller, although it's very minor gain. very small gain for the seller. Okay. Now the overall CMI is 98. Okay. If you follow watching my market updates, you know that these data, of course, from Comfort Associate. Okay, if it is more than 110, it's a seller's market. If it is less than 90, it's a buyer's market. If it is from 90 to 110, it's actually in the balanced market. And I have showed the report that even though it is in the balanced market, it has been dropping and dropping since January. Okay, we have December a little bit above the cell tag, the seller number, right? 115, 115. It's go up a little bit in January and it has been going down since then. Okay, so March and April, we already in the balance market and we are actually trending down to the buyer's market. Okay, so which cities that is still in the seller's market and which cities that is, how many cities that is in the seller buyer market? We actually still have 7 cities in the seller's market, 4 in the balance market, and 6 are now the buyer's market already. Only 2 seller market. So which one? Can you guess which one has a strong seller market? Is actually, you put in the chat. Can you put in the chat to tell me which cities in still in the chat? Here's a hint, right? 1 city in the east and 1 city in the west. Can you tell me which city that is still in the seller's market per your guest? Well, Chandler. Chandler in the west, I'm sorry, Chandler in the east, and Avondale is in the west, are still in the seller's market. Strong, okay, which means it's above 120. We still have 5 other cities in the seller's market, but it's not very strong. As I told you, even though they are in the seller's market, they're moving towards the buyers this month, okay? So it's very close to below 110, okay? Everyone like those cities are like 110, 115, very close. Okay. All right. So that is a comfort market index. Okay. If that continue, okay, if this trend continue, the second half of 2025 is going to be a rough ride for the sellers, especially if demand doesn't pick up that fast. Okay. So my advice for the seller in this market, be really careful when you decide to sell your house. If you do have to sell your house, make sure you understand the market. Number one, it's going to take longer time for you to sell the house. Number two, you have to be ready to negotiate. The buyer is going to negotiate a lot. Okay. So prepare your house and make the right marketing strategy to pull in as many buyers as possible. And then it's going to push up your asking. I'm just helping a seller asking at 400. In this crazy market, we are able to get to 410. So that is the right strategy, right? Even though it's not much, only 10,000, right? But it's still higher than the asking that the seller willing to put on the market, right? So talking about seller, all right, competition is heating up. Okay, inventory is growing and demand is softening. That means the seller needs to do the following: price, be flexible with the price, cut price. Okay, as much as possible. All right, to reflect the current market value, offer more concession. Those are the really important in today's market for the buyers. The buyer needs some concession to help with closing costs, with interest rate buy down, to lower the interest rate, and therefore be able to buy the house. So the more more willingness, the more willingly you are offering the concession, the better chance that you can sell your house. Okay, better marketing. Always start with the marketing material. Strong marketing can create a lot of attraction to your properties, and therefore you have a higher chance to get an offer. We're talking about social media, video, website, open house flyers, everything that an agent can offer to help you sell the house. Okay. Now, here's a fact for the buyers a little bit. Okay. The buyers, you have more choices now. That's mean more leverage, right? So, don't be afraid of negotiation in this market. Okay. And like I said to the seller, you need to be more willing to uh, adjust price and don't set too high hope. Okay, prepare for negotiation. And the buyer, you do the same thing. Don't be discouraged from negotiation. You have to negotiate in this market. Okay, if you're looking at the even the brand new house, you have to negotiate strong in this market, and hopefully they're gonna be negotiate strong in this in the even if you buy a brand new house, right? For the terms and the price that you want. Okay. Um, a little bit come back to the luxury market in this episode. We are looking at, let's say, a way over $5 million house. Okay. Um, so at current average, okay, is a little bit the current average is about 499 days. Okay. The long-term average is 1,047 days. Okay. uh and there's even though I mean it's the same situation, right? No major spike in listings. There's not a lot of homes available for selling this in this market in Arizona. The demand is actually cooling off as well. It's very similar to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 millions. Okay, so if you are sitting on the $5 million homes right now expecting a longer listing times, even though it's less than the long-term average, but it still take at least a year. Okay. And don't count on beating world anytime soon, especially in today's market. All right. What is going on? What to expect in this summer? That is the price. Okay. So no one knows for sure what happened in the future, but because a lot of people are asking me, what do you think about the home price toward the end of the year? Here's some of my prediction, assuming the same condition hold. Okay, with the same condition hold. If new condition, and obviously I will continue updating those information for you. Right, if the same condition hold, we have more prices reductions, we're gonna have more shallow concessions, and we have more inventory fighting for fewer buyers. Okay, it's a shift in the power from the normally the seller now is the buyer and prepared. And for the prepared buyer, okay, that's a huge opportunity. The opportunity for negotiate, okay, and negotiate to win the best price for you. Here's my final thought. This market is correcting. Okay, even though we're talking about a lot about home prices going down, taking longer time to sell the house, the market is definitely not collapsing as of right now. It's correcting, and corrections create chances for the buyer to negotiate and for the seller get real about the value. Some of the seller thinking your house is uh, way above the market value. All right. So if you're on the fence right now, now is the time for you to plan your moves strategically. Okay. Buyers get pre-approved, watch for deals, and negotiate hard. Sellers, price smart. Prep your home and don't expect multiple offers unless your home is top tier and priced right with the right marketing strategy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And if you want to help navigating this market, just message me. All right. And then I will send you more information. Thank you. Bye bye.